All right. So basically, wait, I need to get you guys on the screen so I can look at your faces. All right. Cool, 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 cool. So pretty much, welcome back to my lovely friends Eugene and Raji. Basically, what happened is the other day I was driving in the car and a little voice in my head said I need to make do one of these podcast stingers because of the sun right now. Most of you know what's going on, and if you don't know, then clickety clack, do some research. But the sun is pretty much like having many solar blasts, coronal mass ejections, whatever you want to call it. The light energy is coming in. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I'm going to put a picture on the screen right now to kind of get the science behind it. It was a Facebook post by my friend, not my friend, but like I'm his friend. No, he's my friend, but he doesn't know me. So it's all good. His name Alexander Quinn. If you're watching this, hit me up. Let's do a podcast, my friend. You can come join the crew over here and we can talk some absolute good stuff. So how is everybody straight up?
Good, yeah. I feel the energy, Raji. You too, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of my old friends and stuff, they're experiencing that. I think like the NPCs are getting shook, you know? I think the Matrix is being shook, like you just said. And even at the end of the Matrix, like the first one, not the Resurrections. In the end, Sati, the young girl, she's like, "You think we'll ever see Neo again?" And then Oracle's like, "Yeah." And then she's like looking at the sun, right? So of course, man, it's all about the sun and the sun's change of energy and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, man, I feel it. And like both in my like the old world, right? My past connections, and then now my new connections, my new family, like whether it be Raji, whether it be Charlie, whatever it is, I feel like there's a lot of new energy, new information, new connections, new links. It's like the brain is like being rewired, like the human psychology is renewing itself, kind of a thing. So yeah, I feel it, man.
Big time, big time. And Raji, you said you had like one of those big rounds of fasting. You went for like what, 2 weeks almost?
Yeah, around 15 days.
15 days. How'd that feel, man? That's crazy. That's big.
He's being humble. It's more like 17.
Bro, look how cute he is. He's so like rugged up in his cold weather gear.
Yeah, it's cold here. I don't know, man. It's beginning of April and it's cold, man. It's cold. What is going on, It's really cold. It gets into your body. I mean Ibiza, it should be sun and beach and all of that.
Big time, big time, big time, big time. But yeah, those light energies are really coming into play. And a lot of the times I think that these kind of things are coming up in ways that I'm not necessarily very easy to like pinpoint tangibly, because a lot of the stuff that we need to learn, like you said on WhatsApp, Eugene, are would you call it karma? Would you call it whatever you want to call it? Old lessons that are coming to return now, because we're actually fast tracking the last 10 years or so from 2012 to 2022 of karmic debt that's being resolved because we didn't go into the sort of original ascension timeline that we were supposed to in 2012, or at least humanity didn't. And now a lot of things probably going to come and confront you, the viewer, in the last 2 months and supposedly in the next month, heavily, especially with all this new energy coming in. So I know for me, my dreams have been like fucking crazy, bro. Like, dude, like I've never experienced being so in control of the dream state. Like I feel like it was like I got scared, bro. Like the other day, I know, like I had a coffee before because I was tired, and now I'm like anyway. I was kind of like, I woke up after like a normal sleep, and I just felt this, like I was just going back to sleep after like that initial waking up, and I just went inside my body was like this massive bang, like someone just shot a gun like right next to me. Happened twice, and I was just like sent into this. You ever watched Harry Potter? Anyone?
Of course, man.
You know when this little guy Harry like puts his face into that goblet and he sees like other people's memories with I don't know what it is. Like Dumbledore shows him.
That's very similar to Professor X in X-Men, no? The quantum computer is putting on his...
Exactly right. So he goes in and he sees this like memory. I don't know what it is, but I felt exactly like I was watching somebody else's memory. Like, what the heck, dude? Like, I was in it like more than I've ever been in it before. So mind-blowing stuff on my end. And then obviously a lot of karmic shit coming through, like stuff that triggers you, stuff that you have to deal with from the past, all of this shit, kind of resolving that old energy so you can come forward into the new and embody your new earth energy self, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling now.
Nah, dude, it's good. I think it really like because it shows like what's happening, like all of our lives are just metaphors kind of a thing. And then like even with Raji, I'm sure he'll go into it, but like just like a random dude like enters his mom's dream, I don't know if you've heard of this one, Frank, but it's like crazy. It's like that's how much things are connecting and changing. You know what I mean?
Big time, yeah.
We're all talking about the dreams now. We talked about it 2-3 weeks ago, and now it's happening more and more. And it's just going to evolve. It just means how good we are on pinpointing what's really happening here. What's going on. We
Big
are
time.
on the ball.
Big time, bro. Because like that thing you said 2 or 3 weeks ago about how your dream life will kind of flip or whatever. Like the dream will become the actual lived thing, and whatever we perceive as the lived thing right now will become the dream state. And that's kind of like a scary thought. Not a scary thought, but like a, one of those things. Because I actually experienced some shit like that. And I was like, what the hell? Like I was in a different place, but I was just in my bed. Huh?
That is to reach enlightenment. Enlightenment means that you are paying attention to the higher realms.
Big time. Big time. But
and letting
isn't
go
it crazy?
more of this matrix, this illusion,
I know, man. But isn't it crazy? Like we spend what, like a third of our lives asleep. Like where do we go in the night? You know what I mean? Like I could live a completely different life. I probably do live a completely different life as another fragment of myself in another plane. Like, like it's just a crazy thought, and you have no conscious awareness of it in this physical existence right now. But somewhere in here or up there, my little Sims like green gem thing, it's happening,
Yeah, that's Terminator. No, John Connor.
I haven't seen Terminator. My bad.
You haven't seen Terminator? Oh, yeah, man, you need to watch Terminator. That's the story before the Matrix.
Damn. Yeah.
The same one who wrote the Matrix, the girl, what's her name? I forgot. Oh boy, yeah, she was the one writing the Matrix, the script. She was writing the Terminator too.
No way. I feel like another, that one, I think I was watching that big ass podcast you guys did with Santos and like there's 2 other guys, and he told you to watch Johnny Mnemonic. I think a lot of those Keanu Reeves movies are the same story. Johnny Mnemonic is like a massive one. Talks about those 3. Have you seen it, Eugene?
No, actually, I haven't.
I just want to come in and say her name is Sophia Stewart.
Sophia. Yeah. There you go.
Go ahead, Eugene. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, just that I didn't see that movie Frank was referring to.
You should watch, bro. You should watch it. It's insane. Like, it's like some Ready Player One, like times the Matrix, but like, or it's about. I think it was made in 1990, and it's about a pandemic situation or an epidemic or whatever, worldwide plague in 2021. Like it's set in the year 2021. So,
name?
Huh?
What's the name of the movie?
Johnny Mnemonic, Mnemo. I'll link it to you, right?
Yeah, no, speaking of the astral realm, like being more vivid, all these movies are getting damn good. You know what I mean?
Bro.
These movies are losing their filter,
Yeah. You start to decode everything.
Do you guys see, like, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but like when I watch just anything, I feel like I just see it in a way that like mirrors the things that are happening in my life. Like I see specific movies at the right time where they show me a message or they appear to be some sort of messages in the movie, like specifically for me. Like it's just like, bruh. No,
I think there is a meaning in everything we experience, but just because we are paying attention, this is what Eugene talks about. because we are paying attention to what is this about? How can I link this? How can I connect this dots? You know? But if you're lost at sea, you can't connect any dots because there is no connection with anything. You don't have a foundation to what to connect with. I want to show you something. I was just going around looking at Zoroastrian Illuminati, and this is what came out. Zoroastrian Illuminati, and then this came out. Have we seen this model before? If somebody that doesn't have the right model sees this, they're going to be like, what does this represent? Oh, there's a ring here, but then there is a mountain on top. What is this mountain?
7 realms there.
Yeah, Eugene, what the mountain in the middle?
Mount Zion, and yeah, you got the 7 archangels, right? The 6 around it, right? Like the whole depiction of using Eden, Garden of Eden, like the foot of the mountain, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
and it looks like that eye too. Always that eye. Yeah, in terms of somebody watching this video, because I'll put like on the title and stuff like ascension energy or something like soul mass ejection or whatever it's called, soul flare. In terms of navigating this kind of time, the next month, the next couple months after that, do you guys have any advice for people that I feel like we go through the energies kind of before the majority of the people in the world in terms of processing, because we're consciously aware of it, right? Most people are unconsciously aware of it and they're going through it and they're just kind of like living their lives. They're either dealing with whatever comes up or they're not. But regardless, over the course of the next couple of years, they're going to have to deal with it eventually. But I feel like as the people who are, playing the game, if you want to call it that, playing the game consciously, do you have any advice for people that are like just coming into this and maybe would benefit from a message from either one of you two, based on your experiences so far, I guess?
I would say to not be afraid. Not be afraid. And that they don't need so much information. It's not news. The news is not going to serve you anything. Like, you just need to, don't be afraid, trust, open-hearted, and just go for it. Know that you are a champion and that we are here to become champions. This light is making us into champions.
True.
So go on.
Can I ask a question here? Raji, are there 4 rivers in the Garden of Eden?
There sure are, man, yeah.
Okay, well, if there are 4 rivers in the Garden of Eden, as within, so without, right? Those 4 rivers are us. So maybe, I drew a little board here yesterday. Thought, breath, food, seed can be looked at as water, air, carbon, fire, earth, fire. So literally, this is what we just have to tend, right? This is the Garden of Eden. It's in us. You see what I'm saying? So when we eat the fruits, the foods that are for us, suddenly we clean the carbon in our body. We get the energy. There's sayings like food for thought, right? When we start thinking the right thoughts, or when we stop holding on to thoughts, which are attachments, right? Suddenly it's like drinking good water. Or you can look at thoughts as fire too if you burn your thoughts. But yeah, there's thoughts. And then breath, you take in the fresh air, baby, right? You breathe deep, this is not so hard, you know what I mean? And then the last but not least is your seed, baby, because that's the source code. So when you keep the seed inside of yourself, suddenly you start feeling like you're rising. So yeah, that's what I see is the 4 rivers of the Garden of Eden. If we take care of that water quality, then everything will grow,
Can I translate it more into 3D?
Go for it, bro.
So let's say that this is a human being, just as a show, because I don't have my whiteboard in me. I was giving it away to my friends because I'm leaving. So anyway, no more whiteboards. Let's say this is a human being. The elements that are elemental, that are passing through this body, how purified are they? What quality do they have? Because as he was saying about the water, okay, but what is the quality of the water? Does it contain chemicals? Does it contain toxins? Does it contain heavy metals? Yeah, purify this element, and then it's going to go through you. That is then going to raise your vibrational frequency, so you're going to be able to match with these things that are happening right now, because the sun is a portal that is bursting out these light energies, bursting out. And if you are in a low vibration, then you're not going to be able to resonate with the new frequency of the earth, because the earth is giving birth into now the fourth dimension in the realm. And if you're not becoming a four-dimensional being, then it's going to be a problem. So everybody needs to do what they can to raise their vibration. And that means no more cigarettes, no more, it's not so much alcohol, you know, less and less meat, less and less toxins, more organic food, more breathing, and all of that. So I would say that also is good to bring in, because when Eugene say it, I get it exactly. I know what I need to do, but some viewers can see it and be like, what does he talk about? You know?
Yeah. And I don't think, like, if it's meant for you to happen, like right now, you'll kind of get those messages in your life that you need to stop doing one thing or another. Like, even as I'm saying this right now, everybody that's viewing this is picturing that thing in their head that they know they need to stop or they need to cut back on, because it's inhibiting them from getting at the point where we want to be in our lives, getting us at the vibration that will match with our desires. Okay, imagining the life that we want to have, and then stepping into that as we walk on our path, right? Another message that I got was that a lot of us have very overactive minds and underactive bodies. So definitely getting out, doing stuff physically, I think is beneficial. I also heard that in order to kind of balance out one of those rivers, or one of those elements or aspects of ourselves, say we need a physical, our physical world needs to be balanced. The way we kind of balance it is by doing the opposite of what that physical thing means. So maybe resting instead of going hard. And it's just about listening to what's happening inside of you. Even when you ask yourself, like if you're feeling maybe shaken by this whole kind of time in the world, I guess, it's by listening and asking yourself questions, right? If you're feeling suppressed or depressed by something, right? Something's going like shh on your soul. You got to ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Why am I giving that thing power to begin with? And if you actually ask yourself these questions, I found, because this is my experience and what I've had to go through in the last couple of months emotionally, I found that the more you ask yourselves questions, even if you're trying to eat something, right? Before you eat, like, I love hot cross buns, bro. Before you eat something, you ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this serving my higher purpose? Can I have this? Should I do this? Can I smoke that cigarette? Because a lot of the times you'll hear that answer, yes or no.
And a lot of the times your cognitive dissonance will get in the way of that, clear discernment, and you will go for that hot cross buns or whatever, you know what I mean? So this is the thing, Frank, let me be frank. Really, it starts with what you put in your body, right? Because thoughts, you're putting it in your body too, right? But anyhow, it's like basically a gasoline tank can't take diesel or it's fucked. Raji said this before, so it's that kind of thing. Input equals output. So people don't realize what they put in their mouths is what comes out of their mouths, and also what they become. You know what I mean? So it all starts with food, man. Like, and Sebi says this, like, he says, like, the people that are sick, they argue with him and they hate him, but he knows it's not a personal thing, because he knows it's the food they're eating that's poisoning their minds.
Yeah, and the ego as well.
Exactly, man. And think, what do you call it? The king of Rohan, you know how he was being poisoned? And then this worm-tongued figure was like whispering into his ear and like changing his thoughts, kind of a thing. So basically, that's what happens, man. When we take things like cyanide that's in starch, and a lot of the foods we're eating are starch-based, which are hybrids, right? That cyanide is literally an anti-God agent. That cyanide will make you go against God. That cyanide will let you believe a doctor giving you a chemical rather than an herb, going against his Hippocratic oath or whatever. So yeah, man. So food.
And those plants are artificial. And then when you have a collective that is eating these artificial plants, what is going to happen with the humans? They are going to become artificial. And then their outside is going to become artificial. And what do we have? We have a lot of artificial things. What is this? People operate themselves. They change their face, you know? They put toxins in there so they have big lips and all of that. What is this? It's madness.
Dude, Korea does that so much. You just exposed all the girls in Korea.
Not all, man, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what we don't need to be surprised, because this is what Eugene say, you know. Why am I good? I can understand why that is, because I know it's artificial. It's not real.
Big time. But even then, if we do like succumb to that sort of temptation, the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is then feel guilt or shame or whatever that is associated with it, because that just like makes the bad act, not even a bad act, just makes the act twofold or two times as bad. You know what I mean? 100%. 2 times as impactful. I'm just stray away from bad and good. I don't know about these terms anymore.
I agree, because this is the thing. I have a friend, he's always happy, and sometimes he eats things that is not so healthy.
Yeah.
He's doing it with love. You know, the same here. Sometimes you're invited for someone, there is maybe some bread there, and you know, you eat a little bit, and you, as you say, no shame, no guilt in anything we do. No fear, no shame, no guilt, none of that. Take that away. If you're gonna eat, be happy, eat. But what we are talking about is what you're doing in your day-to-day life. So meaning, what are you buying? You know,
consciously on autopilot.
Yeah. And then if you go to a restaurant, they don't have exactly what you're eating. That's another thing. You know, you don't need to be 100. You can be 100%. I think the more the more you are like that, the more healthier you are going to become. But I mean, as you say, don't put shame and guilt, because that's easy for people. When you tell them about these things, then they are like, oh, but I love cheese. And I love that. And I'm like, yeah, you can continue to love that. I'm just saying to you so you're becoming more conscious. Like, for example, in the past, nobody knew that smoking was really, really, really bad for your health. So everybody was smoking inside, children, everything, smoking cigarettes. But now we know better. Yeah. So it's the same thing here. Why don't you want to know better? Why don't you want to go into what it's really about? Why are you fleeing from this? See? That's what I'm more into. People don't want to hear this. They're like, oh, I don't want to hear, because they know then they need to change. And some of them don't want to change. And this is the thing I just want to share. If they don't want to change, fine. Don't talk to them. And you can continue to talk to them, but don't push it to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Okay, you don't want to change. It's good. I'm going to continue doing my thing. Bye-bye. Because what is happening when you're doing this is that then you're cutting a lot of connections, and then you don't have any connections, but you still have a high vibe. So what's going to happen? Someone else is going to come into your life that also have that high vibe.
Yes, sir.
And there is a resonance, like me connecting with Eugene, like me connecting with you, Frank. Right now, I'm not with any people on the island. I don't hang around with people so much because there is nothing to talk about. But when I go and call Eugene, we talk about 3-4 hours. So I'm putting attention there. So that's all I want to say. Don't try and be loved. Love yourself. That's enough.
Yeah, 100%, man. And see, Raji brought up such a beautiful point. It's like you have a responsibility to your human, man, like whatever, your brother, your sister, to let them know what's up, right? Like what the truth is. But they have a responsibility to listen, and you can't fill in that responsibility for them. So they have to come to you with an open heart, open mind kind of thing. And on the subject of shame and guilt is what makes you do shameful and guilty things. You know, shame and guilt is what makes you compulsive. And so that's the thing, man. It's like this moment. If you could live this moment like forgiveness, like forgive this moment, every moment, right? Like, because forgiveness is in the moment. If you're really sorry in the moment, you won't do it again later. If you're not that sorry, you'll do it again later. So it's that kind of a thing. It's like, can you really forgive yourself right now? Because just like Raji said, forgiveness is the letting go, is the saying, it's okay if you don't follow, I'm going to do it. And you can do it later when you're ready. But right now, you have to forgive yourself to move on. And you have to forgive others to move on. You have to forgive all of the traumas, the pains, the whatever, right? Because that is the detox. Forgiveness is detox, man. Is to say, I did certain things and I forgive myself. I let them go. I burn them away. I sacrifice them, whatever, you know?
Yeah. Even a level like above that is being grateful for all these things that come and trigger you and come and make you feel angry or make you feel sad, because those are the things, those are the ways that you're being communicated with, right? By that raising of this energy that we're seeing. And like Raji said, people don't want to change, but eventually it's going to happen, bro. And then when it does, they're going to be looking at videos like this to come and say, what do I have to do? How do I navigate this? Because when they look at their TV, they don't get the right information. So it's just a testament. And yeah, a big time resonate with what you just said for sure. But yeah, man, I can't wait to be like, I think it will take like another month or so, and the majority of the work that we need to do will be done. Even me now, I'm still getting like all these triggers. Like I was dealing with the shit today, like just like with family and bad things that have happened and bad things that I've done, someone else has done, whatever. And a lot of the times too that I've found, like in the last couple weeks, months, whatever, there's been a lot of people from the past that are coming back into my field of awareness because of some unfinished thing or some, loose end that you needed to tie up in order so that you can cut those cords, like Raji referred to. So just be very vigilant, I guess, is another piece of advice that I would give, or another piece of my experience that I have lived, to be aware of those moments when, somebody is there for a reason, or you're meeting that person again for a reason. And a lot of the time it's because they've changed and they actually match what you're doing right now. And it's also to like forgive other people as well. So just like you said, Eugene, you never know what this road holds, because we try so hard. And another thing to do with this is the ego, which I had a huge falling out with, if you want to put it like that. But yeah, we try so hard to control our fate, control what's happening to us, control all these things in our lives. But we literally chose to come in here and experience this. We chose who our parents were going to be. We chose all of this stuff for us. Resisting it is like the worst thing you can do, because that's going against God. It's going against what you, in your highest state that you could have possibly been in at that time, chose for yourself in this path on life. At least that's my belief. So letting go, cutting those cords and waiting to see what comes at you is kind of the best way to go forward, in my opinion. And not trying to control every little thing and manage every little thing just because one thing didn't go your way and you thought that was going to be the rest of your life. It doesn't actually mean that it will be. And if it really isn't, the world will punch you in the face with it like 3, 4, 5, 6, however many times necessary it needs for you to realize that. So being in flow, being in release and feeling it, riding the waves, riding those, energy in motion, right? Emotions. Definitely big key thing that I needed to get out. Also that ego thing, dude. So many people, bro. So many people. It's like you just gotta sit back and let it happen, and see it for what it is. But like, I forgot exactly what I was gonna say, and I think it'll come back later on. But I do want to touch on that kind of that crack that comes to your egos, or to that thing that wants to control, that thing that wants to be the best, look the best, put like the thing that makes you want to put like the botulin in your face, that Botox shit. That's all coming crashing down. And we're seeing people, like even in the world, like you're either seeing flow state and a thing of non-resistance, or you're seeing hyper control, because that's what the last 2-3 years have been about, either hyper control or letting it flow. And unfortunately for the people that are trying to control everything, it ain't gonna fly.
Amen. Because the controller is the controlled. So he who controls is partaking in slavery.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna just say, is it what do you call it? Like forgiveness, the ending of judgment, right? isn't forgiveness like, I don't even know how to say it, man. Like that is a rebirth. You know what I mean? Like that allows you to stop making these compulsive acts and control and all this kind of stuff, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like forgiveness is the key here, no? Like yourself and others.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, completely. And also, Frank, you know, the more conscious you become, because right now the consciousness, when you start to awaken, really, it goes in a perpetual, how do you call it?
Exponential.
It grows perpetually, right?
Yeah, exponentially.
And if they haven't taken new information, then it's still going very, very slow for them. That means the more the time is going to go, the more and stronger the separation is going to be.
Big time.
You see? And eventually it's going to be so big, so you're not going to be able to keep on that connection. It doesn't matter what you do or not do. If you do something good, it's still going to be separated. Or if you do something bad, it's still going to be separated, because the law of the universe doesn't allow you to resonate anymore. That's how this works. Because definitely. It's energy. And then you can decide, and it's not about above or below, but it is about consciousness. So if they want to come in and play your game, it's not about over or below. It's more like, okay, Frank want to play this game here.
It's co-creation.
And they want to play this game here. We can call it this a 3-dimensional game, and we can call this a 4-dimensional game, or we can call it whatever we want. It doesn't matter what we are calling it. But let's say that for the sake, we are calling it that, right? And you don't want to play that game anymore. You're like, you know, when you were a child, you playing in the fields with your friends, and they're like, oh, let's play hide and seek. Yeah, let's play another game, guys. And what is happening right now is that some are saying, yeah, let's do it. But that is very like, not so many. It's very, very few right now who want to play another game. And the majority are like, nah, let's keep on playing hide and seek.
Yeah. And we're all voting as a humanity. We're all voting to see what our collective reality is at every, given moment. And
so why be angry? Why be
mad, bro?
Sad?
Yeah.
Why be, anything? Why be, like, why not be like, okay, no worries. You guys go and play your game. And if you want to continue playing this game, like for generations, go ahead. I'm going to play my game and I'm going to have fun. So see you later, maybe, you know?
And that why be mad, why be, upset thing. It is that letting go of that control from that ego point of how I'm supposed to be feeling. Because even if you are sad, or even if you are upset, frustrated with the world, with yourself, with your friends, whatever, stopping that control of like, I always used to be happy. Like I always used to be fine. And now I'm just not. And I'm So like, it's pretty crazy how the sun, something so far away can affect all these things, even on like a physical 3D, like at a normal unconscious state. People will understand that solar storms can affect human health, right? Because we are all electromagnetic beings, like this post says. And solar storms emit radiations which are sometimes harmful to those who are in space, but on Earth providing ascension symptoms and DNA upgrades, along with aches and pains and tiredness. I know I get headaches a lot. Other like feelings, sensations, I don't know what to think of it, but usually I just chalk it down to ascension stuff, right? But most experts state that there's no significant risk to humans on the ground from solar flare. This is due to the fact that the Earth's atmosphere acts as a protective shield for living beings, which absorbs most of that radiation. And while most suggest that one shouldn't be concerned with much solar storms affecting health, some are not certain of them being entirely harmless. And as per a US study that explored the link between solar storms and, say, cardiovascular diseases, one thing that we've been seeing a lot of recently is that interactions between geomagnetic disturbances and the autonomic nervous system are likely to induce a cascade of reactions in the body's electrophysiology. Functions and health issues in those who have high toxicity in their body and bloodstream are more likely to feel it, right? So when a new age people said, eat light, drink lots of water, practice time is over, this is the part that I believe we've been practicing for. Some of the things that we can chalk down to that new energy is strong headaches, heart palpitations, mood swings, and just feeling generally spacey and kind of not yourself. So
Yeah.
perfect time to use those breathing exercises, that meditation, prayer, fasting, grounding yourself, and holding on tight, but actually not holding on tight, letting go completely to what you
Exactly.
think is what you think is the new or the old world way of living.
Yeah, Frank, is it possible for me to share the screen? I want to share something about the topic.
Share the screen, my friend.
Yeah, it's disabled.
Oh, sorry, bro. Sorry.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. All right. So look at this. So a coronal mass ejection. So just that. Coronal. Corona. No? The signified release of plasma. And what is plasma inside of you? That's your blood, you know, the plasma. They're saying it. It's plasma in the blood veins, no?
Plasma in the water, plasma around the Earth's atmosphere, plasma in the air. It's everywhere, bro. Okay, I did a video on it, actually.
Plasma is a light yellow liquid. Plasma carries water, salts, and enzymes, right?
Yeah.
So drink a lot of water.
The fourth state of matter, even.
Yeah, the fourth state of matter. So that's also then the quantum field, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's this. And in the quantum field, your perception of time changes. So what is happening with us? What is happening with us? What is happening with us is actually this, that our chakras now are going into activation mode. And when they do that, they purify the body. They start to spin. The solar plexus, the heart, everything.
Yeah, they spin because like in balance, yeah, as opposed to at all on different times.
Well, what they are doing is that they are getting away of the toxic. They are like, okay, time, it's time now for everyone. So it's putting press. Everybody is getting these activations now. So what is going to happen is that all the toxins are now going out from the body. We are cleansing all the toxins out, all the toxins out, all the toxins out. The fluoride, the heavy metals, all the starches, everything is going out.
Yeah.
And some people, the harder it is for them, because the more toxin they have inside, the more this needs to work.
Big time. And that's where all those symptoms come from, yeah?
Yes.
That's why when we had the last time the sun was at this type of level was like, what, winter solstice? That was when you saw, or at least in my area, I saw a lot of those symptoms. And then now I think it'll start happening again, which is why I wanted to make this video. But sorry, continue.
Yes. So what is happening right now is that some of us who have done the work, because we are prepared, because we have prepared ourselves, that means that we are able to pair with the new frequency. And that frequency is the fourth dimension, is a 4-dimension electromagnetic field, because our heart is now creating that field. So that is like this. And that field you can't see, but inside that field, that's the screens. It's the organic screens, right? So they're not inorganic in sense of this, you know, the metaverse.
Yeah.
You know, that's the organic screens that creates your reality. When you have a 4-dimension field, then you're going to see much more freedom. You're going to experience much more nicer things. You're going to have you're going to see a lot more nature, you know? If you have a 2D or 3D field, you're going to experience low vibrations things. And that's the matrix. That is big cities. That is confusion. That is chaos. That is people around you that gives you a lot of bad energy, and you're going into that, you know? So it's all about increasing the vibrational frequency. It's all about that. It's all about magnetism.
Yeah.
And how do we increase, hold on. How do we increase this field with magnetism? Well, we need to eat iron, because iron is the only magnetic mineral. And what contains iron?
You mean in our bodies?
Yes, in our bodies. Like, for example, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, like Europe, Germany, France, Sweden, Nordic islands, England, all of that, you have a lot of dandelion. We were talking about that before. So eat a lot of dandelion because it grows like weed everywhere. Burdock root, nettle. Eat these herbs as much as you can, and you're going to see what's going to happen to you. You're going to be like, and your magnets are going to become stronger, and you're going to upgrade. You're going to become from iPhone 4 into iPhone 9.
Yes, sir.
Or 12, whatever.
And isn't it so ironic? Because that's how you escape the Iron Age. Is to take in more iron. That's magnetic, right? That holds all the other 102 minerals that you need in phosphate form, because only phosphates are electric. Only phosphates and like these fluorines and all this stuff come from plants, right? All the other irons are the wrong ions, right? So you can't eat iron without the plant. So it's that kind of a thing. That's how the plant makes it organic for you, right? It makes it so
we are the organic ones, you know? We are not inorganic. We are the organic ones. Organic family.
Big time. Big time, big time, big time. And I know there's people watching right now who are like, it's all a bit too, you know, veiled or not scientific enough. And I would like to also add in that, especially it was prevalent in that movie Interstellar a lot, that all of these upgrades and all these things that are happening, all these things that we perceive as some sort of ethereal kind of like alien god, whatever energy you want to call it, I think it's just us from the future that are allowing certain timelines to occur as opposed to others, certain higher timelines that are occurring.
Can I share something? Because I need to stand up and I need to share something, yeah? Okay, here we go.
Man's gonna do some star jumps.
Yeah, no, karate, no. Okay, look, what you were saying is there are maybe some people that are watching this and it's not scientific. Now I'm going to say things that is going to challenge their belief. Maybe they're going to get angry or whatever. It doesn't really matter because if they start to, because they need to learn to listen. And if they don't want to learn and listen, then it's up to them. It's not up to you, you know? No more playing, really. No more playing, because they are not going to get it because they need science. No.
Yeah. No, I just thought of it because like, that's how I would have, I feel like it's not very, you know, solid in terms of scientific ways of explaining.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you what science is. You are science.
Yes, sir.
I am science. So what do they want? They want me to express itself. That's science.
Yes, sir.
I am religion. I am the law. You are the law. You are mathematics. You are everything. Every subject that we study in school, like geography, you are that. You are the land. You are carbon-based.
Yep.
So what's up? Oh, that's not science. Yes, this is science, because when a human being is able to express itself honestly, that is true science.
Yes.
And then they say, no, because you need to do an experiment and all of that. This is the experiments that we are doing right now. And what is that? The experiments is that we are talking and then we can see that things happens. The science is to use your common sense and look. When I look at Eugene, what do I see? Do I see an unhealthy guy? Do I see a man that is not happy? Look at him. Does he look like he is in a bad place? He's lying in the bed. He's petting his dog and he's happy.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
The difference between magic and science is just a bit of time, hey?
Yeah, and let me share with you this. They want science. I'm going to give them science. This is your science that they want. So that's why no more this. Let's not focus on them.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it in terms of sort of there's like this fifth dimensional kind of integration that we have to go through that fixes our Jeepers Creepers.
Coming back, I know, Frank. Let me just show you this.
Yeah.
This is Belgian health minister. She is the health minister of Belgium. So it doesn't matter who you are in the world. If you look here, okay.
Not the cupcake lady.
But come on, man. I'm just honest, Frank. Like, look,
Yeah, I
These
get you,
people
bro.
that want science, okay, this is their science because she is following that science that they want,
Mm.
and we are not going to serve that science. We are, because it's a lie.
Yeah,
It's not true.
but
So
it
what
still
we're going
has.
to
I
do?
feel like it still has benefits that we can take from it
No, it
holistically.
has. It hasn't. It really hasn't. When you say there are benefits, okay, if there are benefits, then look, then the society should benefit from it. The people living under these teachings and these things, where are the benefits?
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's good as a whole, but I'm saying there are benefits in it in certain, like it's two truths, one lie moment, or maybe two lies, one truth in this case. But
An example for this is like surgery. Like, yeah, there's a lot of surgical developments in the
mm,
world and whatever. But
mm,
the thing is, we didn't even need surgery in the first place if we were alkaline, regenerating human beings. And so
yeah,
this is the thing. It's like the doctors give you what? Chemotherapy? They give you drugs, that kill you slowly. They give you acidic solutions to acidic problems.
yeah,
Because the one disease, Sebi says, is mucus. Dr. Morse always talks about the one disease is lacking of elimination. So
yep,
the doctors, instead of taking the trash out of your body, they just add more trash in.
mm-hmm,
So
Yeah,
this is an example of science being so backwards, right? Because
yep,
this lady is full of trash. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the thing. So maybe we don't need quote unquote science because we already are scientists. We
we are
are God
scientists. Yes,
scientists.
we are the
We
scientists.
we are the
Continue.
discoverers. We are the you know what I mean? The ones, the adventure. We're Indiana Jones, man. You know?
Yes. Hey, Frank, we are the scientists. The
mm,
scientist doesn't look like a guy. I am a professor and I have a PhD in all of. They are not scientists.
yep,
We are the scientists, and if they want to challenge that, come on, sit down. Because I talked with these professors. They don't have enough information. They don't
yep,
know what they are talking about. Many of them.
yeah.
So
No, I
are we
agree.
gonna
I
look
understand.
back?
Yeah,
No.
no, but
So
I do
I
think
just want
there
to
is
tell
like
you.
things to take out as well.
I know, Frank, what you're meaning. Yes, of course, there are good things like this phone. We're using the technology. We're not saying that. Or if I break my arm, I go there and they put cement on and all of that. Great,
Mm,
emergency things. We're
mm.
not saying any is bad. What we are saying is the viewers here, they need to start to wake up. They need to stop with this. What's the science behind that? Hold on. Listen to what we are saying, try it, and then you can come back to me and talk about science. But you're not going to talk about science because you're going to say this. Actually, I'm feeling much better now. Okay. So if you are feeling better, what science do you need?
Yeah, this is true. This
Why
is
do you
true.
need to read a paper? People are always paper. Oh, now it's here,
Mm,
and then it's true.
yeah,
So
big time.
so let's see. Let's watch her again. Let's watch because we always getting
Oh,
into
not
her.
the cupcake lady. Too many cakes.
But I'm just honest, Frank. Look, she's Belgium's health minister.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't really care about Belgium's health minister. I care about my health minister, which is me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying these are the people that are listening to governments. They are
Yes,
listening to
sir.
this. They're listening to look. So you see, Frank, it's time for not giving a damn. Really, it's about that. We need to change tactics.
Yeah, I
Before
understand.
we're in defense mode. Everyone. I was always that. I was always thinking like maybe I can't say this because people are gonna. No.
Yeah, no,
Now it's
fuck that shit. Yeah, hell yeah. But the thing that I'm trying to say is like the not maybe like the elements of what you're of that whole system, but maybe a little bit of the thought process, right? Because if we go too far to the right hand side, it's too far into belief without basis. It needs to be the meeting point, in my opinion, of logic and the heart, the emotion, the feeling, the third eye view of things. But also we
okay.
have these two eyes for a reason as well.
Okay, so let's talk it about the science way or that way. So
You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about linear versus circular time. I feel like that is such an interesting perspective, like thing. But yeah, sorry, continue.
No, I was just saying that we can talk about linear and circular time, but I think it has to do, it's not separated. What we are talking about now,
like linear and circular DNA maybe as well.
It's the same thing, because when they perceive the time linear, then they are in the third dimension. And what you're saying is that we should maybe speak more 3D so they get it.
Because I'm the bridge. This is the bridge right here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah.
Yes. I think Frank is more the bridge between 2 and 3. I think so.
Nah, bro, I'm just the bridge. I'll be bridging.
Yeah, but I see it in the different dimensions. Eugene is 4 and 5, and I think I am 3 and 4, maybe. In the how we communicate, in the codes we are sharing. That's how I see the translations.
It's like Spider-Man. He comes and, meets his his 2 other friends from 2 other dimensions. And it's like the perfect moment in time where there's the Trinity that comes in,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I feel so.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, linear versus circular time, crazy stuff. Because it's like I learned in school ages ago that there's like circular DNA. And if you change one section of that DNA, it changes the whole circle, and then it changes what eventuates into the phenotype, or like the characteristics that gene is expressing in the organism. And I feel like that's how time works as well, right? We have incarnations or whatever of ourselves, like the movie Groundhog Day. Also, it's until you were finding that niche, that exact right timeline that our higher selves or ourselves from the future wants us to get, because we're constantly in that connection between our present selves, our past selves, and our future selves, I think. And I think you can receive the messages, or the messages that you do receive are from that kind of future version of you that maybe didn't want it to go the way that it has in the future, which is why a lot of these movies and things that we see feature that time travel element. But it's not time travel, because everything is happening right now. There's only one moment, which is the present, which we're all experiencing, no matter where you are in that point in time, at the same time. So that's why when we have those like synchronicities, or we have those things where the timeline does shift over, it kind of, it rears its head, or it appears as synchronicities, but it's just timelines converging. And I feel like that's the one thing that's been happening a lot. When you say cutting cords, it's just deleting those, those timelines that we don't need anymore. And I feel like that is so fascinating. And that's why we see all these things that are happening to us synchronistically. It's just us coming into the one that like in Avengers, that one main timeline, or I forget what it's called, but if you mess with it, then you fuck with like the whole world, and we're all gonna die. We're like not gonna die, but like it messes with the main timeline and causes a lot of problems. But obviously it's impossible, because that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. And right now the timelines are merging, kind of a thing, so it's like narrowing down to one reality and one truth or whatever. But
right.
I want to share this with you guys, because this is what you were explaining right now. So this is linear, right? It's a line, right? That's where linea comes from. That's electricity. That is the left brain. That is the masculine. That is thought. That is the phallic. That is the dick, basically. The vag, right? The whole, the circle, the holy, the holistic is the feminine, is the magnetism. And together you get the spiral. You see what I'm saying? Together you get the DNA. Because
the coil,
exactly. You need one conscious force that's going inward, that's penetrating, that's the wisdom. And then you need a circular force that's love, that's all encompassing, that's nurturing. And then together, that's how reality is made. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So I think Raji talks about this, right? Doesn't he say in 4D it's linear and
5D.
It goes in cycles?
5D.
But I also want to point
5D.
out that any 2 points, when you learn like simple, like year 10 or grade 10, whatever, mathematics, you learn that those 2 points, that linear timeline, if we zoom really far in and you plot 2 points on a circle, it almost looks straight when you zoom in far enough. And the whole thing of, like you said when we did that first video, Raji, about the dimensions, it's about that zooming out and seeing that the I is actually just part of the O, right? And that's why that's what we're healing right now, that feminine aspect. So that's really interesting that you bring that up, my friend.
Yeah, so I want to come in with the timelines here.
Go
and
for
the
it.
perspectives. So it's also what he said, 1 and 0, right? But they are also the 10. And the 10 dimension is the void. And this is what everybody's afraid of. They are afraid of dying. They are afraid of going into a black hole, right?
Yeah.
They're afraid of darkness. They're afraid of nothingness. They always want content, you know? They don't want to turn off the music. They don't want to turn off the sound.
The noise.
The noise. Because they don't know when it's silent, it whispers. So they need to go into the 10 dimension in their mind, connect with the organic Ethernet, and then in their astral realm, because when we are astral, when we are in our dream state, that is when we are leveling in these dimensions. And then when we come back here, we need to do it physically. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So we guys are already really high up in the astral game. We are, because we resonate with this information.
With the stars.
Now we are bringing it down to the earth. Yes, the stars.
The real stars, not the Met Gala stars, not those Oscar stars.
Not the artificial stars, the organic stars.
Yes, sir.
Those stars that you see there in the sky. That's what we are talking about. How to get to those stars, because it is possible. We have a way, we have a plan. We are organized, because that is what you need to do in order to achieve something. No, if you want to create a company, you need to create a structure. You need to plan it. You need to have a group. You need to have a team, maybe. You need to have employers or partners or whatever.
You need to have trust.
You need to have trust.
The trust.
And we have trust here.
Yes, sir.
We have trust, guys.
Even like the strawman, like the law thing, it's all based on trust, hey?
It's all based on trust, man. And also
Trinity.
this, with the timeline. Okay, if I get conscious more and more about my dreams, who say that I experience my dreams, you know, like when you say you're going consciously more into your dreams now, Frank, who say that you can't bend time in your dreams, man? Who say that you can't live 70 years in your dreams? So every time you go into bed, the more and more conscious you become, every time you go to bed, maybe you're living a lifetime there. Maybe you're living another life.
Maybe you're living 1,000 lifetimes.
Maybe you're living 1,000 lifetimes. And then you're going to come back and you have all the skills that you need. You can sail, you can fight. That's Neo, no? When they program everything like this, boom, 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 boom.
Yes, sir.
So maybe you know how to sail. Maybe you know how to build. Maybe you know everything. Like Legolas, the elves. How good was he with everything? Because he lived thousands of years. But how do we count that? You know, do we count that only in this lifetime? So for example, me and Eugene, when we talk and Eugene say, hey, I lived 70 years yesterday. Okay, so that means that you are not only 23, you're 23 plus 70. Okay, so you're over 100 years.
Raji, yesterday I actually feel like so much time went by, because like I was talking to my family members. Remember, I talked to you and I was like, thank you for having such a great relationship with your mom. It just shows everyone what's possible. Dude, I feel like I made so many connections with old people yesterday. Dude, it was like 70 years. So it's crazy you guys are saying that, dude. Like,
yes, man, that is what we are healing. Because if we talk about consciousness and we are not having conscious relationship with our family, it's not conscious, you know? We all need to say, hey, mom, it's okay. We don't need to hang out or anything, but I love you. And if there is anything, you know, it's all that. It can't be, but mom, that is a baby. That's a child. Don't talk with consciousness about that if you're like this. Stop that. Be like, mom, let's quit this, you know? So that's the real journey. Don't talk with others about what they should do. Fix your family thing first, and then you can go back, because that's what we need to do first. It starts with us, then the family, then the tribe.
True. But sometimes it starts with cutting those cords for a bit, I think, in some aspect. Yeah.
100%, man. You need to cut those cords.
This thing. So since I cut the cord, I was able to go and get different nourishment that is healthy, and I was able to get healed. So before, the nourishment I was getting from my old family, it was a sickness, right? And so now that I was sick, I went and I got unsick, and I came back to my family and I was like, guys, let's stop being sick, guys, let's heal up, And so now I have this whole new energy. And then with, like just watching how Raji's so enthusiastic with his mom, and he's never like offensive or anything, he's just like, why don't we do some yoga? Let's stretch, let's drink some good water. He's just so like, up, like, you know what I mean? And so I started doing that with my family. And yeah, I love the way I can interact with them now. It's like, it's not like a attacking, I'm not trying to like sabotage their views or anything. I'm just saying, hey, maybe we should just eat a little healthier. Maybe suddenly our psychological problems will disappear once our bodily problems disappear too. It's like, maybe it's all connected. Let's try, guys. I love you guys. You guys are my responsibility,
Yes. And don't talk about how the government are and the systems and everything. No, just talk about the simple stuff. Okay, mom, let's try to eat some healthy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tick, 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 tick. Mom, I've done a breathing thing. I would want to show you. Can we do that together? Yeah. Okay. Close your eyes and breathe. Come on, mom. And then after 5-6 minutes, that's enough. And then the day after, maybe you do one more, So slowly, slowly. And look at Eugene when he was talking, he was like happy. He didn't have shame and guilt when he was talking about how he did it with his mom. It wasn't like this, oh, it was really hard. And no, it's like fun. Okay, things are fucked up. Things are fucked up for a lot. Family karma, it's a lot of deep shit. But let's not seeing it as hard. Let's seeing it as a fun game that we need to, and not that we need to release, Things doesn't need to be dramatic. Why were we so dramatic? Do you know why we are so dramatic? Because we have seen a lot of movies and they are always dramatic. It's a lot of drama. Fuck the drama queens and fuck the drama kings. Let's go back to things that are nice and fun and easy.
Yes, sir. Cut that Black Mirror. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. That's what I see. Like, I feel like that's also what I talk about when I say, like, you see your own life in that movie. It's because it's showing you what you want to see mirrored back at you. And that can be, like, scary, chaotic at points, especially with, like, the bullshit that you see in some of these movies as well. But, yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, really. That kind of stuff. But isn't it crazy, like, all these movies, all this stuff with, like, the Trinity, especially like the 3 versions. Like there was this movie called The Atom Project. I think it's a good one. You should watch. Netflix. Just came out this year. It's about the trinity of the guy who created time travel, his son as a future like 2050, like 30 or 40-year-old version of himself, and then the 12-year-old version of himself. Now they both have to come into one timeline, which is 2022 in the movie, and prevent
Yeah, I've seen that trailer. Yeah.
You should watch it. It's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. It was good. It's like that Spider-Man thing again. Like he comes into the 3 different versions of himself, and they each bring like one specific thing that they've learned, or they each bring something to the table, that ends up saving the day. And I feel like 2024 is going to be a big year for that, because that's the end of that solar almost clock that we started in 2017. That's 7 years of solar eclipses, if you know anything about that.
Who doesn't say that we are the guys who are creating these time machines, these Merkabahs? So in the future, we are actually the ones from the future coming in here. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the messages, I think. When you get those random thoughts that say, you need to change something or you need to do something, who's to say that it's not your future self trying to communicate with you?
Yes, it is, because I have a guy here who is an artist. He lives in French Polynesia, guys. And he is like only swimming with whales. And I want to show you drawing he made. And this drawing, he also brought, for a reason, my name in it. He says, yeah, you're part of this download that I get.
Whoa, Joseph?
Yeah,
Joseph?
Yeah, you know him, huh? You know him. His name is Joseph, yeah.
I'll send you another link, Raji.
You told me about it. Oh, sorry.
Hey, man, this guy, he's like next level. Hey, he gets like all the information just.
Yeah, bro. And it comes out through that creative consciousness that we all like simultaneously experience. That is what we call the dream state, where you get all your creative ideas from and where it manifests out of. We think we don't know where it comes from. And we're kind of just like channels for this kind of energy, but it's all there. And it's a part of the reason why when we create things like, or any art in general, really, we see those things that are crazy like this. Wow, look at that. Amazing.
Hold on. I have it here. Even bigger. No, not this. Not Duda. Okay, look at this, guys. And this guy, I met a lot of guys. This guy is no bullshit. Look what he made here. He made a 12-dimension star. You see here, 12369, but he put 369 here. So he made a pyramid there. 2022, missing capstone mystery. Dr. Michael Hyson, Atlantean time machine. He brought that with Nikola S. That is a woman I know. She's then connected to Nikola Tesla. So I think Nikola Tesla, he created these time machines, and these time machines is coming from the future. So he made those like 100 years ago or whatever. And because of that, we are in this time loop. Yeah. The event is coming from the future. You see, so everything that is happening now is coming from the future.
That is deep. That is deep, deep, deep.
That is really deep. And it's a quantum hologram, divine currency based on natural law. And then he has my name here. And I am connected with Nikola Tesla at some point. And also the event is coming from the future. So I'm just saying, guys, there is a lot of things going on right now that is very mysterious. Like, we don't know really what it is. But I think, as you say, Frank, we are all tapping into the dream world. We are in one team, and we are trying to fix this shit in the dream state, in the astral realm, you know? And that is where we are very strong. Right now, in the 3D state, we're not so, you know, fully there yet, because it's going to take some time. But the better we are in the astral, the more we focus on the higher realms, the more also it's going to reflect our life in this 3D realm.
Very
so what
true.
we need to do is meditation, being more dedicated, more disciplined, because the more we are paying attention on these things and the light, the truth, you know, being authentic and being good for others, you know, not being bad and always have a good karma with you, the more this light is going to give back to us. And if we are a network with this, doing this simultaneously, hey, boy, it's going to burst, and it's bursting right now as we speak. Sorry if I speak a lot, but it just came through a lot.
Speak that shit. Nah, talk, bro, talk. It's like the difference between the two worlds in the Matrix, right? You have the real world, and then you have the 3D world. That real world, the place where we are all connecting, especially us three and a lot of other people, and what you're talking about is that astral plane, in my opinion, that dream state. That's not actually a dream state.
No, dude, and just one thing, Eugene. And I think when we are in the dream state in Eden, then we're gonna draw into that reality in the 3D. So the 3D and the maybe let's say 5D is the dream state, and the 3D is this state. Then the more we're connecting these two worlds, we are going into bam, the 4D, the space in between. So that is when the sun and the moon comes together and creates the singularity.
Yes,
you know, no more separation.
Dude, I wouldn't doubt if Raji told me he was Nikola Tesla, but anyway.
Maybe the astral realm, Eugene. But I think you are more than Nikola Tesla, because if you look at you, you look more like him, you know?
I think it's soul fragments, bro. I think it's a little bit
Frank is Ready Player One. Frank is Ready Player One. Frank is the guy who is the gamer. You know what I mean? He is the one who knows all of the games, all of the movies.
All the cheat codes.
All the cheat codes. You know what I mean? He's more like that. You know, he's more that one.
But, you know, I'll say this. So Frank earlier was talking about the Trinity concept, right? And it's so interesting you bring that up because, you know, Harry Potter, what is it? It's the Elder Wand or whatever, right? The one that, you know, whatever, the strongest freaking, the stick.
The three wands.
The
yeah, the wands. Yeah,
exactly. And then there's the stone, the hole, the circle, right? The philosopher's stone, that's the pineal gland, right? That which can bring you back to life. The pineal brings you melatonin, which is the preservative, right? Which is the gold. That's the rejuvenation, right?
Yep. Turning
And it
thoughts
has
into reality.
exactly. And it has the cloak that hides you. So
Ah,
there's your three. And then in Lord of the Rings, we got Frodo, Sam, Gollum. We got Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli. We got Treebeard, Pippin, and Merry. So everything is Trinities, man. And so, you know, it's so funny. You were talking about 3, 4, 5D, these bridges and stuff. That's Gimli. And then Aragorn is 4D. He's the middle heart king. And then the higher, the 5D is Legolas. And they come together and bridge the world so that we can all get on this Atlantis, you know, and stop this fucking bullshit. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then in the end, what happened? The corona comes, the crown comes on Aragorn's head from Gandalf.
coronation.
And that is King Arthur and Merlin. You know, Merlin is Gandalf and King Arthur is Aragorn. The same story, man. The same story. We have
the very same story. Yeah, Trinity. Trinity is massive. Even in the Matrix, bro. Like, Trinity is the character that saves Neo's life, bro.
And it's Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity. It's the Father, the Mother, and Jesus Christ, the child, Neo.
Yes, sir. Big time.
But isn't that okay? Yeah, I get it. But is Trinity the mother? Because they are together, no? Well, isn't that a little bit crazy?
Yeah, Raji, but Mary Magdalene is both Jesus's mother and his partner, like in the allegorical biblical texts and stuff. So basically, it's just talking about virgin magnetic light. This ain't real shit, you know? It's not a real man. Like Mary and Jesus, they're not real men. I mean, they could be
archetypal,
like,
yeah,
exactly, through us. But really, the archetype is describing virgin, unpolarized, magnetic white light. That is what Trinity is symbolizing. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Neo is duality, or you know, Neo and Smith. So it's red and blue, Cain and Abel, and then that merging together becomes Christ.
They're two ends of the same spectrum, yeah. That's why when Mr. Smith tries to merge with Neo, it doesn't work, or because they're the same character but on different sides of the spectrum. The light and the dark. That's what we're doing right now. What we're doing inside our vessels is we're merging the light body with the shadow self. Like with 3D and 5D, we're coming through these energies with our physical body, right? But also those angelic frequencies are coming in, and our light bodies are, you know, integrating. And it's like the most crazy experience ever, which is why a lot of people decided to come and incarnate into this specific moment in time, because it is super, super, super integral.
So the shadow is the ego.
Yeah, part of it is, yeah. The shadow is like the repressed self, the unexplored.
Okay, so
exactly, we have to make this clear, because basically the shadow, if repressed, becomes compulsive, but if not repressed and integrated, right, shadow work, right, which means you bring up all the bad traits in yourself, which really means to say, I'm Batman and Joker. Okay, there is Joker inside of me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That archetype of evil exists in me. Therefore, I can stop it. Thereby, I can say, fuck that shit.
Exactly.
I don't like evil. You see what I'm saying? So I can be the bad man. When everyone calls me the bad dude, right? Yeah. Everyone says, you know, he's just a shitty figure. He's a criminal. Yeah, call me a criminal. But you know why? Because I've realized what, you know, the criminal acts are. So I can stop it. I can stop the violence in myself and outside in the world. You see what I'm saying?
True. And that's why those Batman stories, they're a lot about duality. And that's why the Joker always harps on about you. I do not exist without you. You complete me.
Exactly.
The two sides of one person's psyche. Yeah.
That's why Gollum is Frodo. Have you watched Lord of the Rings, Frank?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, you have to do. It's crazy.
But
shit.
bro, talk about it, because there'll be people that have watched. Like, I know it's very popular.
Yeah. So basically, the whole point of the game, right, is for Frodo to take the ring and destroy the ring, right? But there is another hobbit that had the ring before, and that ring completely ripped him apart, his psyche apart. So he's like a golem now, right? He's a complete, he's like a goblin or something, right?
That
So
sounds like
this
the
the
Joker
thing.
to me.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
fell
So
in that vat of
exactly.
acid, yeah.
Yes, dude. So Frodo, so Gollum is Frodo. That's what the movie is showing. They don't tell you that,
Mm,
but they're saying that's an aspect of himself.
mm,
That's the unintegrated part of the shadow.
yep.
So basically, later on, it comes up and he has to deal with it. And then his friend Sam is the opposite of that. His friend Sam is his higher best self or whatever. I got some feedback here, so you guys start talking.
Yeah, bro. Like I used to watch that show Yu-Gi-Oh! If anyone's ever seen that.
Oh
Um,
my God, I grew up on it.
yeah, same. But I love that shit. Because I was super obsessed with like ancient Egypt as well. For whatever reason. Um, so I just love the whole like higher self with that like ancient Egyptian symbology. It was very like
Yeah,
resonated.
he has the capstone, right? And then when the capstone unlocks, suddenly his higher self
His
comes
higher
through.
self, right?
And the little guy, like the normal guy, he's nice, right? Before he transforms, like he's just super nice and he's
Mm,
kind and he's like a little child. And
mm,
then later the big brother comes in and says, let's fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the shadow. Exactly, dude.
yeah. And that's like the thing. The shadow isn't something to be feared. It's like your greatest weapon. It's like any weapon, really. If you know how to use it, you can become lethal. Like you can become like a John Wick.
Exactly like a John Wick, because he's so kind, or like he loves his family. He goes away from violence. Like he's very gentle. But if someone disrupts his gentle nature, if someone tries to fuck with his innocence, dude, he is the devil. He's worse than the devil. The devil runs from him.
And he is the devil. He's the devil integrated.
Hey, Roger, you there, man?
He's muted. I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just writing a little bit while you were speaking, because today is my last day on the island. You know?
How crazy is that? I caught him on the last day, coincidentally.
Yeah. And there's so much things I need to detach from. Like, like stuff. I'm like, I'm just going to bring a bag. So all my stuff, clothes and nice shoes and all of that, I need to be like, oh, I let go of that too,
Yeah, big time. I did that like last week. I cleaned out my entire closet after like the first time ever. All my old clothes, I just op shopped, gave them away.
Yeah, what would happen if we have like 3-4 t-shirts and 2 pants and 2 pair of shoes? What would happen? Why can't we have so little? Why? Like everybody's doing the opposite. They accumulate more and more. What if you accumulate less and less?
Yeah, dude, I only wear 2 different sets of pants, guys.
Like what if? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think that's that's the secret. Having less and less.
But I also like expressing myself in this little avatar meat suit that I have. I think that's like kind of fire. Wearing some cool clothes.
Yeah, that's also art. But my type of art is, okay, one pants is dirty, I'll hang it up, wash it, whatever. I want the other one. That's it.
It's also different. If you live in Mexico, it's sun every day, or if you live in the Caribbeans, that's one thing. But if you live in a city, it's different. Yeah, it's sure. It's a different game, no?
It's that performance art. That's what you're talking about, that performance art, because they're watching from those higher realms. That's for sure. Like a little Truman Show stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting with clothes because there are 3D clothes, 4D clothes, 5D clothes as well, no? Like, when you go, let me just share the screen. Can you make such short share the screen?
Sorry. You got it. Bang.
The clothes you have in, we were talking about the movies, the Elrond's clothes, that clothes, they are in a high level, look. See him here? No, not here. Look at this guy. Who wear these clothes? Like.
Oh, that's Mr. Smith. There you go.
Yeah, Mr. Smith is in Matrix, man, and he's one of the good guys.
Yeah. Look at these clothes, man. If you would wear these,
It reminds me of like Loki or something.
you know, this is high level clothes.
Some mage stuff.
Yeah, like this. You know, dresses for the women.
And you might be onto something because I really want to start like a clothing brand through this channel, um, with like some sustainable materials that has like a really positive message, carries like a high.
Oh,
Because I feel like I have like clothes, and when I wear them, they like protect me kind of. They keep me in my little like keep my energy protected, you know.
So, guys, what do you think about clothes? Do you think that it's also need an upgrade, like everything? Do you think that after this coronal mass ejection and light thing, that people are gonna start to dress differently?
yeah, dude, I'll probably start wearing clothes once Frank starts designing it, man, with
Hell
good
yeah,
fabric, with
hemp,
shit
hemp,
that's
hemp.
exactly no chemicals. You can breathe, like everything. Then
Mm.
I'll wear that shit. Before the clothes have tech, I don't want to wear that shit. Okay, it clogs me up. It blocks that shit.
Yes, sir, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get onto it soon, very soon. As soon as like I'm not even gonna say.
So, Frank, what's your plan? Are you gonna leave the Matrix soon and go to the Gold Coast?
To the Gold Coast, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Or you're gonna go to Bali? Bali.
Or
Nah, nah,
just
nah.
go to Costa Rica and cruise with Raji.
Yeah, bro. I'll probably, if I'm going anywhere, I'll probably go somewhere in Mexico for sure. Maybe like somewhere like Tulum or something like that. Um, but I feel like Australia is where I need to be right now. I want to go to Uluru. I want to go to Ayers Rock. Um, the I think it's the third chakra of the world. But yeah, I'm gonna stay here for now for the
Good, good.
foreseeable future. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking. I was just, Caribbean for me. I want to be an outlaw. I don't want to have. Eventually, I don't want to have. I don't want to travel with passports. I don't want to do any of that. I'm just gonna walk, man, and
Mm.
just
Ah,
follow the
Pirates of the
flow.
Caribbean.
Mm.
Pirates of the Caribbean. That's it, man. That's it. Because I know there are people traveling there. There is actually a real thing that called hitchhiking for sailors. So there are people that are sailing like from America to the Caribbean or Caribbean to Europe or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we need somebody, like you can hitchhike with sailing. You can actually travel like that. And then that is the game, that is the realization, because before you were always like, oh, I need to travel, or I take the flight, Why is that? Why is that the only way of transportation? When you start to become a sailor, that is when you start to upgrade your game, Look at Truman Show. Man, what happened when he before he became free? He
Yeah,
took the sailboat, man, and he sailed.
this is true. I'm trying to fly though. I'll get my own private jet or something. You know
And
that.
what is the Atlantis about? It's about the ocean. What is Poseidon about? It is about the ocean. So in order for you to go from 3D Hades to Zeus, you need to do it through the ocean. You need to know the oceanic laws. You need to know the maritime law. And it's not only about knowing the law, you also need to practice the law, meaning you need to become a sailor. I don't know, but Jesus, wasn't he connected with boats and fishermen? Wasn't Jesus a fisherman,
Yeah,
So
I
he was.
am. What do they say? What do the pirates say? I am.
Yeah, and if you change I, captain, it's Ja, captain. Ja, Rastafari, Ja, man.
Jaman.
Yeah, so I or Ja. And the sovereignty is this, that once you say to yourself that, okay, wait a minute, I don't need a bank account. Yeah, I didn't need any of that. But if you think like this, then you realize, okay, but I can't, where can I be? Where in the world can I live without a bank account, without any of that? It's difficult to do it in Sweden. There are different maps where you can do it in an easier way. So I think the game is about going to these places where it's more easier to live a life outside the matrix.
Yeah, true. I also think that the place that you are is like a perfect reflection of your vibration as well. Like when you come out and see you're in the sunshine and you're in that sort of like that beautiful place, that's because you're in a beautiful place within yourself, right? And you're only seeing the outward reflection of all the previous, you know, however many days, months, or years of time that you've been thinking these certain thoughts that come into reality. So like that, like, are you moving for a specific reason, Raji, or is it just because you felt like you needed change, or?
So what happened is that I always have because I'm a traveler. I've been traveling for years now.
You're a
everywhere.
nomad, my boy.
I'm not mad. I'm no mad. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what I do is I always have a backup traveling destinations. So, and I always have different options. So I've been here for 6 months. Oh no, I've been here for 6 months here. And I was like, okay, where is next? And the next destination I already planned 4 months ago. But then something happened and I had to stay a little bit, you know? But I stayed until things change, and something changed. And then I know, okay, it's okay. It's okay that things change. Now, because it's changed, I'm also going to change. You see?
Yes, big time.
So I am not in, how to say, dependency of this place, because I know I have enough currency to have the ticket.
Yep.
And then I go
Autonomic stuff. Got you.
to the other destination. So
and you have the currency inside of you to survive, to be sustainable. But also, I just want to add real quick, the environment is the womb, Frank.
Yeah. Oh, I want to share with you about that. I really want to share it with you about that. You know, the first container you're in is your womb, right? Your mom's womb. And then you're coming out from that container, but then you are also in a container. You're in the house, in your family. That's the 2D. That's the slave. That's why, in order for you to stop becoming a slave, you need to face the family. You need to complete the 2D. And this is why many people are stuck. Yeah, they're stuck in slavery. And then in the 3D, it becomes the town, no? Or the city,
Community,
or
yeah.
Community, yeah? But then you need to go out from that too. You can't get stuck in your town you always lived in. You know, Ash couldn't be in Palette all his time. He needed to go out from Palette.
Yeah.
That is when you're entering 4D. But in 4D, the whole realm is your container, right? But then you want out from that. You feel like, hey, I don't even want to be in this realm. I know I can do all of that. I know I can have a lot of money. I know I can do this and this and this, but that even doesn't satisfy me. I want to go out. And that is Eden. You see, that is the 5 dimension. So you see, it's all about going out from the container. Then from the 8 container is the whole earth thing, you know, the whole thing. And that is when you really feel that, okay, this whole earth thing is too much. I don't want to even be here. So that is when you shoot out and become a star, you know, and then you're becoming astral.
I think they're all like fragments of one another, these dimensions that you speak of. Like, it's almost like you see the star as like a little tiny focal point that goes like and branches off into all these little places and parts that represent one's like soul, entity, aspect, whatever. So when you talk about like, I am the Nikola Tesla, or when you see like huge parts of yourself in other people, it may be that you just have the same fragment or very similar fragment.
They call it fractals, no?
Fractal, that's the word. Sorry. Yeah. Big time. I also wanted to talk about deja vu, because I recently heard this thing about fate and fate lines, and how when you experience deja vu, it's when you're back on your fate line. Because like with our little, like all the choices that we make, all that butterfly effect stuff, you kind of sometimes you get a little bit far away from your fated reality as for right now. And I heard this guy say that every 3 days, you come back to your specific fate line. And I had this one moment. I went to this music festival a couple of weeks ago, and I got there, and my friend just did something, and I got this like crazy deja vu. Like I hadn't had it in ages, but I just got this like, and I was like, what was that? So I had to go research it when I got back, and I had a bit of like an esoteric research, not like a Google research. And I wanted to know if you guys had any comments about fate lines, deja vu, things of this nature, because I feel like for the people that stuck it out this far, it's such an interesting treat to just like think about and talk about this type of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I call Raji Deja Vu Aura Man now.
Why?
Because
Why?
he's
Yeah.
the king of deja vu.
What? I don't know what you're talking about, man. But what I know is when we come to deja vu, we come to a point, you know, because these timelines or these cycles have points, like a knot, you know? And it's like a portal we are going through. So when we're experiencing deja vu, that is when we're entering a new time cycle. The end of that time is entering a new time. So the more deja vu we are experiencing, the more and more we are entering into new timelines, different time fields, you know? I want to share something. I just got a message.
That was really good. I might clip that and make a little short video about deja vu because it's so interesting.
I got a message from my friend here. I don't need to out her, but I just want to share what she was sending to me, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Hey, is it happening to you? I feel like I'm going to disappear. And I was like, lots of changes. She was like, I just left my body and observed myself. And I was like, yeah, you're just tapping into 4D. She was like, what is going on? I'm scared. Rapid changes. And I was like, what are you afraid of? She answered, disappearing. And I was like, no, you're not disappearing. You're appearing. Because it's the opposite. We're, you know, I'm disappearing. You're appearing. She's appearing into another dimension. That's what I'm trying to say. She was like, true.
Yep.
And also, disappearing is not bad. It's good. We need to reprogram.
That is meditation is disappearing. But guys, so deja vu literally comes back to already seen, already heard, already read. So it already happened, guys, and we're just figuring it out.
Yeah, already happened. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Eugene comes in. It already happened because we're coming from the future. So who say, oh, look at this. Who say that we are actually moving forward? Who say that we are not moving backwards? Meaning, you know, when you watch a video, who say that we are not going from the end into the beginning?
Rewinding.
Because that is the cycle. It's the answer is we are doing both and we are coming into the middle. That is the quantum field.
Yep. And I think the event that everyone is talking about is that point where we cross over between the rewind and the fast forward, if you want to put it like that. That big black hole type stuff.
Exactly. So the black hole, exactly. So if they always talk about the Big Bang, but they don't talk about the big because it's both. It's a breath, you know?
Can I share with you how a star is being created?
Supernova, yeah.
Hey guys, look at this.
Hey, have you seen Interstellar, Raji and Eugene?
Clips of it.
Sorry, clips of it. All right, you need to watch it, like especially the end. It is crazy.
Okay, guys, look at this. This is how a star is being created.
It's a process called sonoluminescence.
The first time I saw sonoluminescence was in a darkened room. It was transfixed to look at this spherical flask of fluid. And you look into the center, and in the center you see a glowing blue-purple light, which could be seen with the unaided eye. It looked like a star in the heavens.
Whoa.
Seth Potterman called it the star in a jar, a tiny spot of bright light contained in a flask of liquid. This star in a jar is made when a sound wave is passed through a small bubble inside a flask of liquid. And this sound wave makes the bubble do something remarkable. First, it expands, then it collapses.
That's the word of
And
God
this
right there.
collapse happens so violently that vapor molecules trapped inside the bubble slam together and heat up so much that the bubble gives off an incredible burst of heat and light, several thousand times a second, giving the appearance of a star.
Yeah, guys.
Crazy.
That's what he's saying. First it expands, then it collapses. So we're doing both.
Yep,
And then bang.
that's us as well. Condensed light.
Yes, and that is us because we are also fluids and we are also bubbles inside.
Yeah, true.
What is activating this sound, these stars? Sound waves. So the word. So depending on the words, we have the spells that we have. We can activate our genes. We can activate the star within us. You see, so that's why we need to speak the language of love. We need to speak the language of unity. We need to speak the language of truth, because it's the truth that activates the stars.
We're trying to activate our eugenes.
Yeah, the truth is light too. So yeah, because plasma, again, the Neoplatonics, they can also call like the Neoplatonic solid. Plasma can also be fire. So there's your Gandalf fighting the Balrog into the water, fire and water.
I thought it was ether.
Water, yeah, it's ether too, because again, fire is basically the point where the ether comes in. Because after the hole, it's like a fire, it's light, you know?
True.
But
Like
before the hole.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like the Pentecostal flame, like that thing that's in yeah, continue.
Yeah, it's the ether that ignites the fire. You know? So that is what ignites it. Like a car. You know, you need a small ignition, and that ignition is fire, but then
they call it a spark. SP arc.
Spark, the SP arc. Look at this. My friend is sending me messages, and it's actually very interesting. I want to share. I'm seeing stuff and so on. What are you seeing? I said, spirits. I saw light in my eyes, like golden, and now constantly feeling energy flow in spine everywhere. She's going through a massive shift. Also, I ran into a glass window, losing shape. I didn't feel any pain. It's really changing too fast. I saw a cat in my room. I don't have a cat. You know, so she's really going through a lot, man.
Yeah, that's why we're making this video, because there's going to be a lot of people going through a lot of big shifts.
Yes. Yes. And they are going to start to see angels. They are going to start to see the different beings that are roaming around. Some are really, really beautiful. They're going to start to see dragons, you know, the dragons are going to come and appear, you know, but
not these eyes.
Yeah, like the Pokemons, you know, the different beings. There are different beings going around. So we're going to start to see things. I don't know what it is exactly, but they are flying, you know. I know they are flying. They're big and they are beautiful, but they are in such a high level and colors that you can't explain really.
Those are the 8D dragons, are they not?
I haven't seen them with my eye, but I've seen them in my mind, man. I can see them. I know they are there, but we just can't perceive it yet because there is not enough light in order for us to perceive them. But when these light solar flashes are coming in, that's going to activate us and we're going to see more and more unreal stuff. Eventually, we're going to start to communicate with animals. That is going to be very interesting when we come to that point, because the animals are going to give us loads of codes. They're going to give us a lot of codes.
There's dolphins.
Yes, man. The dolphins and the whales, man. The whales. The whales are going to give us the biggest codes.
Wow.
Because they are the ones who are swimming to Eden. And in Eden, they're giving them all the codes. And then they're swimming back. The way
Wow.
time travelers, man. Because when you go to Eden, you're going in the future.
Wow.
And we are gonna
Well, shit.
okay, look at this. You guys know technology. We are going to be able to read the supersonic things that are coming from the dolphins. And then we use technology that is going to translate them into English, whatever language you want. So we are going to be able to communicate with all the animals through technology. Not only this, but also technology. And then we're going to see, hey, dolphin, what's up? What do we need to do? Yeah, you need to do this. Okay. Hey,
That's in Johnny Mnemonic, by the way, the dolphin stuff.
Yeah. What is it about in that?
So in the final scenes, there's 3 keys you need to get, just like Ready Player One. One of those keys is that dolphin, and they have him like strapped up to some like Professor X quantum computer shit.
Yeah, because Professor X is the only one who can tap into this computer. Why? Because he is quantum. And it's a quantum computer, a quantum human, and the combination of them creates the strong thing, the blast. I have a friend that is coming now. Hey, Camomila, I have a meeting here. But you want to say hi?
Let's do it.
She's okay. Hey, guys. No, it's okay. I need to go anyway. I think for me, at least, it's 7 minutes left. All that. I think I need to go, guys, but I think we went through a lot, like it's 3 hours of data.
Let's do another one because I need to walk my dog super quick before it gets too hot, or else I'm going to start dying when I'm going up the hill.
But I think, Frank, you have enough. You have enough, no? Okay,
yes,
I need
sir.
to go, guys.
When I get finished with this video, I'll send you the copy and you guys can upload it to your channel as well.
Yeah, dude, let's do another one as soon as Raji's available.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Much love. Later, Eugene.
Thanks, Frank. You're awesome.
Likewise, my friend. Likewise.